CD Improv and uh, our trackers, Ali Drabrab, Kamion Renakai. And here we go. Looks like we're going to have Hurt to start, which is always good at a Chaos.
Yeah, so we'll get the traditional 3 boxes to start since there are no keys. There are no keys required, so this third chest is always going to be gold. And it looks like 2 chests and maybe a torch that I saw, or was that an herb?
It was a torch, and that's you could throw that torch to enemies and it'll hit 6 to 9. That's something new in the new Randomizer program. But we have a Fighter's Ring in the treasury. We also have some Fairy Water, which does the same amount as Hurt. If you throw it, we have some more gold. And is that Fairy Water or what's that other item? It's an herb, it looks like. But Brian Williams has set up the gold grind, which is always good, and so has CyberDark 86. Will Wagner is throwing a reset, because he screwed up his grind. And Stentroid is going to explore the basement of Tangential Castle.
Yeah, I've seen a few runners this week throw out that reset once they've gotten into the treasury, and either they forgot to revisit the throne room, which sets you up for that chest glitch, or they've seen what's in the chest and they want to choose which chest they glitch out. So we can talk a little bit. Actually, would you like to explain the chest glitch, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, the game itself can only in its memory handle 8 chests, and anything after that 8th chest it will duplicate. So it will keep on duplicating. So, for example, if that 8th chest is gold, it'll just give you gold, 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 gold. And at the start, and how you pull this off is you have the 3 chests in the king's room, in the king's throne room. Then you bump it up. Then you go back in the king's room. That will double the chest from 3 to 6. And you take 2 chests in the treasury, and then any chest you take after that will be cloned or duplicated. So you could grind your gold. It's a very potent way to have enough money to get your Silver Shield early. Unfortunately for CyberDark 86, he tried that and it didn't work.
So Brian Williams had gotten a kill on a blue slime, much like the vanilla version. Looks like it might be our friendly enemy to sprinkle some fairy water on, throw a torch at, or just cast the hurt spell that we started with. However, it only brought about 16 experience, so it doesn't even get you quite to that first level, which Ali Gabrap is bringing up, is 20 for the second level. So that's not a bad start. But we do see a couple of our runners having saved at the king, and just taking a reset as soon as they take a death to that enemy. It's slightly faster, gets you right back and skips your "Thou art dead" lecture.
Yep, and Centroid trying to go after a Metal Scorpion does not work, and he'll reset. So we still don't have our, quote-unquote noodle yet, but it's still early days. But Will Wagner Music gets 64 experience, and that will give him at least level 2. 18 power, 3 speed, 10 hit points, 3 magic points, and I think that's level 2.
And meanwhile, Brian Williams has gone west and north and has found himself a place to buy, based on the randomized shop prices, the second best armor in the game, the magic armor. So he will heal 1 hit point every 4 steps. And also gain some huge defense power for this time in the game, and also finds the flame sword for a deal of price at 1,200 gold.
Now he's hoping in this third store maybe find a silver shield, and he doesn't get it. But that full plate for 3 gold is actually quite nice. If the magic armor wasn't there, that'd be perfect. And so what you see Brian Williams doing is, just buying more fairy water, which, as we've said earlier, which does the same as Hurt.
Yeah, it's a nice little way to make your magic early game go a little bit further if you don't have any other options. One of the things about Chaos is that our enemy stats are all randomized. So you might say, well, the blue slime is an early game enemy, and we saw Brian Williams take down one. But you'll see that this metal scorpion gives 64 experience, which is not vanilla. And Will Wagner has found that the metal slimes are kind of a preferable enemy in this zone. So Will Wagner is off to a good start. Or sorry, metal scorpions. You're correct.
And in the case of Will Wagner, well, now we know that the Druids are a no-go, only give you 4 experience. Give you nice gold, but with the ability of a gold grind that does it.
And Cyberdark has now found his way to town, and having done a gold grind as part of his chest glitch early on, is going to find the good news that he doesn't need 7,000 gold.
Well, I would spend the gold on that large shield, because that's another 10 defense.
Oh, totally. It will definitely help out, but, would be able to get away with just over 5,000, I think. But that's okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at these metal scorpion stats. Only 14 experience, only 14 HP, so you could take it out with Fairy Water or a good hurt spell. Not much in the way of resist, sleep, but that agility is quite potent, and that defense is kind of, vanilla with metal scorpions. But it seems like the good thing to take care of is a Demon Knight.
And Will Wagner getting up to level 5 is now seen heal more and hurt more, along with Return, Repel, and Radiant. So that might break Will Wagner out of this early game grind, but we'll see what Will decides to do.
Right, or as I like to say, more, more, more. How do you heal me? How do you hurt me? More, more, more. Brian Williams gets the mores. More, more, more. And right now, everybody has just muted the stream. And I apologize for that. No, I don't. Anyway, back to the action as Cyberdark86 has found his way into Mountain Cave.
It's a good early game find, but the wolf says, nope, go home.
Yeah, Cyberdark is doing a strength agility build, so his ability to escape is non-existent right now. However, he will have more agility going on, which in turn isn't that bad because that gives him more defense later on.
And Will Wagner is finding his way to his item shops in Cantlin, sometimes affectionately known as the Mall of Alefgard.
Woo, look at that Magic Drake given 204 experience, and now he'll get level 7.
And that Wyvern just gave 252 experience, so 3 short of the maximum. And Cyberdark will get at least a level here. Just 1 level, but isn't too far behind on the experience, so...
No, at only at level 3 though, so getting close to, and as we saw by our tracker, 4 is the level to get the more.
And Cyberdark is finding out that these magicians did not skip the weight room.
Not only did they not escape the weight room, they also really didn't skip White Magic Day, because now they have Heal More. and we must have been away because Will Wagner just spoke to the guy and no coordinates, apparently.
Thou must go and fight. Yeah, that's a no search coordinate seed, so we may see Hawksness or the imaginary Cole as a necessary visit here. But we haven't seen any cursed belts, and there are still 10 or so chests outstanding.
Looks like level 9 for Brian Williams, at least. 8 more power, 21 agility, 5 hit points, 26 magic points, so that's 10. Actually, he'll get level 10. So, these metal slimes are running away like usual.
Not random enough, but also they have sleep, so maybe we don't want to see them.
Well, they always are flighty, so they'll just sleep and run away. Wolf Lords don't give you much of anything, only 6 experience. So it's just a matter of finding... Now, we saw Mountain Cave, but we didn't get too far in it because the wolves were being a bit of a bear.
Yeah, I don't think we saw any of the chests, so we'll have the 5 chests in Mountain Cave, the 5 of the Grave of Garanham, the freebie in the vanilla Stones of Sunlight, and the Erdrick's Cave. And then we just have to find the old men. So the standard Dragon Warrior questing for your items so that you can get yourself into Sharlock. However, today you will see Short Sharlock, which gets you straight to the basement floor with the Dragon Lord. So much shorter walking. Cuts the 7 floors of Sharlock out, and it's just straight to the basement. Your treasury should be easy access, especially with the no keys flag that we have on today. Brian Williams is also getting the go and fight and is just taking a death warp off the tile.
That 21 agility is huge, by the way.
Yes, that agility is going to come in handy as it does help determine our defense power.
That's right, for every 2 agility points, it is added 1 defense.
So 15 minutes in, and our bottom 2 runners have found their way kind of out of the early game, both on a level 11, less than a couple hundred experience points, and really when they found a couple different enemies that are both pretty easy to take down for 200 plus experience. If they can find a reliable way to get those enemies to show up, that'll rocket up pretty quick, and they might just be in find the items mode.
Right, and it looks like what's underneath Tantegel Castle is Swamp Cave.
Swamp Cave with a red slime guardian, and Brian Williams will go with the Hurtmore, and it goes straight down for 248 experience. So Brian Williams might just go for all of the levels right now. With 65 magic in the tank. Takes a level 39. Is that 39 hit points?
39 hit points, so it looks like your HP is already there.
Well, the HP is there, but is it there? We'll have to see what Dragonlord 1 has to say about that.
Well, with MTI, I don't know where MTI is, but he certainly set that MP high. He loves it! By the way, Red Slime has around 60 HP. He also casts stop spells, so I think we have our X.
Yeah, an Axe Knight with double experience.
You know, I'm curious. I'm really curious. can we see the stats on the red slime, please?
And Will Wagner is also testing out that red slime and sees base, okay, 72, but can have up to 25% of that 72 lost. So some of the time you're going to take down that red slime with that first hurt more.
And for everybody packing flame swords at yeah, it is really worth it. You can grind easily on that. That's probably the best thing that they can find in the chaos right.
Yeah, so we should see these levels come by pretty quick. We'll see how many levels Will Wagner decides to take and whether he decides to also grab the princess. Already having snagged level 4, just 200 experience
Princess
points.
Is not
Brian
necessary,
Williams.
though.
That's true. With Chaos, one of the strategies that some runners like to take is grabbing the princess just so that her love will tell you how far it is to the next level. If the stats are in question, that can be a determination if you're got a good trap tile in Sharlock as well. But yes, definitely the princess is not required, so she might just hear us torturing all the red slimes outside of her cell and wonder why no one looked in the basement of Tanagle Castle for the missing princess.
What'd she do to get locked up underneath Tanagle Castle? I mean, unless the king did it, or we saw her doing something really, really bad. I mean,
we just don't ask questions. I don't want to end up in the basement of the castle.
All right, makes sense. CD Improv quips. She probably ate the last of her dad's ice cream. Yeah, I mean, especially the ice cream made with magic wyvern wings. Jeez, that is creamy and delicious. And as I say that, Centroid finds another cave, and actually finds the mountain cave that I was talking about earlier. Hopefully Centroid can take a look at these chests.
Centroid gonna see if the AK is similarly difficult in this particular Chaos Seed, and it brings Dragonlord 2 Breath.
By the way, while we were chatting, Will Wagner Music's already at 16. Take a look at that stats. 103 strength, 81 agility, 131 HP, 116 magic points, 133 attack. Defense power will get there when he gets Erdrick's armor. I have to say, he's ready to go.
Ready to go, but a whole bunch of homework to do. We will have to see how quickly the exploring goes. And as pointed out in chat, he doesn't have a shield, so that defense power could look even better. Just a little bit of shopping.
Interesting map with a lot of twists and turns. Brian Williams finds a cave and finds Freebie Cave. So let's take a look at what's inside this Freebie Cave. It is the Death Necklace.
That could become interesting. It's not commonly used in Chaos because we haven't really discussed it, but Dragonlord 1 and Dragonlords 2, their stats are also randomized, and while in the vanilla version of the game, Dragonlord 2 has about 130 hit points. The randomizer moves it to 150 to 165, but in Chaos, Dragonlord 2 can have between 100 and 230 hit points, and can also have sleep or heal. And Dragonlord 1 can notoriously have hit the gym every day for the last 3 years.
Yep. Can't miss those workouts. I mean, he's really practicing. He's got a bodybuilding competition that he's got to go to.
That cape really just hides it well, but he sometimes really packs a wallop and can really bring 200 attack power to the table. And that's not what you want to see if you are
No, you don't.
just hanging out at 100 hit points. That can melt pretty quick.
Absolutely. And as we take a look, Will Wagner gets to at least level 18. 11 more power, 2 more agility, 2 more hit points, 3 more magic. Centroid finds the upper chest. It is the Stones of Sunlight.
So the first quest item that we have so far is the Stones of Sunlight. They'll also be looking for the Erdrick's token and the harp, which we'll have to find another cave in order to get the Staff of Rain from that harp. And then finally, we'll have to find the old man who we call the jerk because he kicks us out if we haven't done our homework, but he will give you the rainbow drop if you have.
Top two chests are torch and gold. And as Furon quips, trying to be Gary Stridham. Wow.
And Centroid, unluckily, does not find any other quest items in these chests. However, has found a red slime, so is gonna see about taking care of the red slime. Oh, no, is looking for the death warp using the dragon scale.
And a curse belt found inside of Rimeldar. And Will Wagner gets his stones.
So Will Wagner with about a, 1,500? Yeah, almost 1,200 experience point lead, and now has caught up on the homework and is also tied for the lead on exploration items.
Will Wagner is going to do some housework and take rest of these chests, and Brian Williams continuing his exploration, trying to find another town, but unfortunately runs into a dead end.
Meanwhile, Centroid has reactivated the chest glitch by filling his buffer of 8 chests and then just opening the gold chest repeatedly. So some shopping is going to get done by Centroid, probably going to Cantlin and snagging that flame sword and the magic armor and maybe that large shield as well. I don't know that Centroid has seen anything else or if we've even seen the price of the silver shield, but we may need to gold grind to be able to get that silver shield. Sometimes it's randomized and it doesn't get cheaper.
Well, we did see Rimeldar, but I think we only saw that one chest and he got out of there.
And Brian Williams has found Erdrick's cave, and in the cave is the token.
Kind of makes sense that Erdrick's token would be in Erdrick's grave.
Yeah, so we'll see if that comes out to get anyone. I know that's a cave that a lot of runners, if they don't have Radiant or are trying to save their magic, will often nope out of and come back to later. Kind of like the last couple of chests in the grave. And Brian Williams finds coal and another cave yet to be seen.
Brian Williams will check this to see Silver Shield. 5,606. So, good news is Silver Shield had a nice discount. Bad news is he can't afford it. But how about Erdrick's Sword as a consolation prize?
You know, that's just casual. Everybody's been walking around it on the grass and coal for some time. Nobody's really looked at the ground. It's just been known there, right?
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't notice the best sword and the jerk cave next door?
Yeah, as pointed out in chat, Brian Williams with the Erdrick sword still doesn't have quite as much attack power as Will Wagner, so there are some strength gains in those levels between Brian and Will. There's about 3 levels between them.
Yep, and Cyberdark now rocketing up to 18. So he is right there with Will Wagner. And if you take a look at Cyberdark's screen, you can see the lower part of Charlotte Castle.
Cyberdark found Charlock and wanted that rogue Scorpion, but the Scorpion out-damaged him. So gets a trip back to the king and a quick lecture, and I imagine that Cyberdark will find his way right back out and continue exploring. I don't think he had quite seen everything that there was to see there.
No, and I want to point out in what you're seeing with Brian Williams' stream, or Brian Williams' run. He's doing what a lot of runners do, is that they tag along the coasts. So you get a good variant of the map. And we find Breckenry in Brian Williams' side. He is going to try to see if they had a silver shield there. They do not. Only place we find it is coal. Well, at least as far as we know, because we haven't found Garenham yet. But he does find another town, which could be Garenham or Hawksnest. If it's Garenham, there's going to be another cave on the back half, plus 3 chests, and that's exactly what we find. We find Garenham.
Yeah, Garenham, so there will be 3 chests, and then potentially 5 more in the basement if the Grave of Garenham is in its vanilla location. But we will have to see what is behind the locked door that, well, isn't so locked for us today.
Nope. We know where the stones are. We're looking for the harp. That's a set of wings. And a magician is on a chest, but finds the fairy flute. Now that he's off the chest, it's gold.
Those NPCs were just doing a little huddle back there on that chest area. I was waiting for them all to run into each other.
They're practicing for the next season of the XFL.
Yeah, you gotta huddle up before you break to line up. But Brian Williams does find the Grave of Garenham, and so we'll have 5 more chests. Gold in the first one. There's our silver harp in the second one, and we'll see what the third one has, but we know that it's not the Erdrick's token. It is a dragon scale.
Yeah, so now we know where all 3 of the where the 3 key items are. He has not gone into Mountain Cave yet to find the Stones of Sunlight, whereas everybody else has. So his exploration lead is a little bit tenuous, but also very important to have. And he'll find a friendly neighborhood red slime to give him 248 experience and level 16.
And we see with Will Wagner being at 6,400 experience that that level 18 has a pretty long gap comparatively to some of the levels that we've seen so far. With Cyberdark and Brian Williams all kind of sitting around the same experience levels, but Will Wagner's been on 18 for a little bit.
Yeah, it could be one of those, there it is. And there's the harp trading cave right next door to Sherlock, which stinks because now you have to go there, then go all the way back to Cole where the jerk cave is and get the rainbow drum.
And as noted by our restreamer, CD in chat, Centroid41 went ahead and validated the seed, i.e. searched the Sparkover island for the search spot. Even though we know there's no search item, it's just a nice little thing that we all do from time to time as we play through our seeds. Hoping one day that we will search a one-tile Sparkover island and get an item out of our searching.
and a curse belt. So that's 2 curse belts. So now it's a case of Brian Williams. Well, he hasn't found Mountain Cave yet. That's the only thing that is kind of holding him back. And Allie, not necessarily. Not anymore. Because the armor could be randomized anywhere. It could be in a chest. So, in this instance, you might want to pop into Sharlock and check those 7 chests. You'd have a better shot there in finding armor than you would, say, just going straight to Hawksness anymore. And Will Wagner's found Rimmildar, so he is on his way. He is going to catch up to Brian Williams and find Cole and the other.
Yeah, that was curse belt number 2. So there could technically be one more curse belt. But yeah, Hawks could still have the armor, or it could have nothing.
And speaking of, Will Wagner's just found Breckenry and does not have the cash for the Silver Shield.
And Brian Williams is about to let us know what's under the trap tile here in Hawksness, as Hawksness is in this swamp that Brian has just stumbled his way into. So at this point, we know where everything is, but our runners haven't quite seen all of the items for their homework. So collectively, having seen 3 different runners grab various items, but Brian Williams is still short that mountain cave with the Stones of Sunlight, while the others are have yet to get to the Erdrick's token and the Silver Harp.
And Erdrick's armor in vanilla spot.
And so that means that Hawksness will be required. I guess you could get by without the armor, but it would not be a fun game.
No, because with the fire doing a max, with Dragonlord 2's fire doing a max of 72, unless you had like around 200 some odd HP, then it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, the one caveat to that is if Dragonlord 2 had sleep and you could stop spell pretty easily. But we've seen some games with some pretty good stop spell resistance, which can be pretty problematic if that Dragonlord 2 brings the sleep spell to the fight.
Yeah, but a lot of these runners are heads-up runners. They've played a lot of Chaos Seeds. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of stop spells being the first thing that they do against Dragonlord 2.
And Centroid is narrowing down that experience gap on still just exploring the world, taking trips over the many bridges that have been introduced by the change in the way that the world map is generated. Lots more rivers, lots more bridges right now. Pretty windy seed in terms of keeping it all straight, so I hope our runners don't, say, stumble their way into the Jerk Cave and then not be able to find their way back. I know that can be problematic in some of the more confusing maps.
Right, and Brian Williams is doing another heads-up play. He thought, okay, I need to find Mountain Cave. I don't think it's in the second half of the continent. So he has thrown up a return spell. He is now on his way to Mountain Cave.
And there it is. So Brian Williams is going to have his homework complete after this first chest. So may just nope right back on out and go about grinding. I would expect to see this the Swamp Cave grind, but could choose to go to Hawksness if he has also seen the Jerk, which I believe he has.
He has seen pretty much everything.
And if I said Hawksness, I definitely meant Sharlock with the Dragon Lord. Hawksness, the town that's been destroyed, pretty out of the way as far as I can see.
Right, but it's on the second continent, and you have the red slime underneath the castle, so you might as well just grind on that. By the way, this stream wouldn't be anything without our good runners, CyberDark86, Centroid41, Brian Williams 42, and Will Wagner Music. So give these 4 runners a follow, show your support for them, show your love for them, take a look at what they're doing outside of Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Also, show your love for our restreamer CD Improv, show your love for our trackers, Kamion, Renokai, and Allegro Brap, and also show some love for me, Sigma Fan, and Bobski021 by throwing us likes, checking out our streams. We're building a massive community here for Dragon Warrior Randomizer. And if you want to take a look at Dragon Warrior Randomizer, become a member of our Discord, download the program. And hopefully, we'll see you in the Summer League for Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
And Brian Williams is going, right past Charlock. Oh, that's because the Staff of Rain Cave is just on the outer wall. And so is going to get the Staff of Rain, and then probably finish up the homework, and then go right back into Charlock.
Yeah, he knows where the Jerk Cave is, and that's near.
So 36 minutes in, we might have ourselves even our first Dragon Lord fight not too far away at level 18. That's, I'd consider going. I might consider it informational and not expect to find my way through the Dragon Lord fight itself, as Dragon Lord can be pretty nasty during Chaos, but I might want the information right now.
Harp was in Garenham. And Will Wagner finds Hawksnest. And Cyberdark finds Cole and gets Erdrick's sword.
Tries to take the sword, but no, you have to search for the sword.
And Brian Williams has his drop, so he's ready to go into Charlock Castle.
And I agree with Sigma Fan here. You should definitely check these runners out. Among them are some very interesting games. Both Will Wagner and Brian Williams have been seen playing golf. Brian Williams plays a lot of retro. Helped Captain Uhu on our tracker that we're using today. Has a Tetris PB of 574,000. Will Wagner is grappling for the WrestleFest world record, going back and forth with another runner. Also plays Nest Golf. Cyberdark is our lead tracker, coordinates all of our tracking here for the tournament, so he does a lot of great work for us. Also, as a fun fact, won a Duncan Melvin's Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos tournament, so has some experience with the Chaos. Centroid41
been doing wonders with it ever since, and Brian Williams is almost ready to head into Charlock Castle, and there goes the Rainbow Drop going and showing us a beautiful bridge, and he is ready to take on the Dragon Lord.
Yes, indeed. I will wrap this right up. Centroid41 knows a thing or two about bridges, used to design them, which is where the Centroid name comes from. Has been seen playing A Link to the Past and Dragon Warrior Randomizer, so definitely all great members of the community, and definitely encourage checking them out and giving them your support. And Brian Williams, just skipping the treasury altogether, doesn't need anything, is going straight for the Dragon Lord.
Now we just have to see what's in this spike spot, and is it friendly or no? Oh, that's not friendly. Scorpion's got high defense and high agility, so it makes it a bit tough.
Yeah, Brian Williams, I didn't see a Hurtmore go down, but could spend the magic on a Hurtmore here instead of trying to slash his way through, only getting 31 experience for it. So I don't think we're going to see many levels gained here in Charlotte Castle.
No, he's at 18. He has a feeling that that's enough. And here we go. He's going to be declared a fool, and the fight is on. And Brian Williams with a heads-up play.
Yeah, that preemptive sleep. So we're not going to see how much damage right away, but casts the stop spell. That's not going to hit. We have Erdrick's armor on. Stop spell won't hit us. So we don't even see a swing from the Dragon Lord.
Nope, that's good news for Brian Williams. And here we go with the DL2 fight. And sneak attacks for pretty...
So 2 attacks of 14 makes to 28. Plenty of magic, so depending on what hit points the Dragon Lord rolls and whether the Dragon Lord has the heal spell.
Hasn't cast sleep yet, so it might be that heal spell, or it could be vanilla.
And Cyberdark is finding some homework items here. We'll pick up the fairy flute out of this chest, and then down in the grave, we'll find the silver harp.
So far, the Dragon Lord just being a vanilla Dragon Lord, which is a blessing and a curse, because this fight could drag on for a long time.
But with, plenty of magic in the tank, Brian Williams takes down Dragon Lord 2. We see no heal spells, no sleep spells. Took a lot of damage, but got the job done. And Brian Williams is going to round this out in the 42nd minute with a dot done in the Hex Chat, or in the SRL room, with a time of 42:42.
And that's going to get him a big 5 points in the Winter League. That'll bring him up to 7 points and in good contention for Week 3.
And we see that Will Wagner snagged level 19 while we were distracted with the action in Charlock. Will Wagner still has just a little bit of homework to do, looking for that Erdrick's token. Cyberdark has the homework done, but looks to be diving the grave, looking for that Erdrick's armor. So Cyberdark is going to find his necessity of Hawksness, and then we'll probably be racing with Will Wagner to see who can make it to the Dragon Lord next. Centroid, a little bit more homework to do, but definitely could find his way into the mix there too, as, finding the silver harp right now.
But for Will Wagner does find himself Erdrick's token in the tablet cave, so that's his homework almost done. But here's the funny thing. He has not found Cole, so do you think he skips Cole?
He could skip Cole. He's got 149 attack power right now. So if that's without the sword, I mean, personally, I do love to hit the Dragon Lord really hard. And I would want the sword, but you can go without it at 100 and almost 50 attack power. That's going to be up to 24 damage at a maximum against Dragon Lord 2.
And speaking of Dragon Lord 2, we have the person who just slayed Dragon Lord 2, Brian Williams, 42, here in the comms booth. Congratulations, Brian Williams, on the job well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was that was a lot of hit points for that Dragon Lord. Just kept going.
Yeah, but you had the stuff for it anyways, so I think it's got to be very thankful that it was just, even though it had a high HP, it was vanilla.
It was vanilla. I thought I had the HP and the heal mores to deal with sleep if I saw it, but I was going to take my chances and just go. So.
And while you did that, Will Wagner gets himself Erdrick's sword and the jerk, finds the jerk cave and gets his drop.
Nice.
So explain the exploration of having to do Silverharp right near Sherlock, and then having to traverse all the way to Cole to find the jerk.
Yeah, I had a map, and it was good this time. It didn't lead me astray. It was a pretty long walk, and I was pretty worried I was going to take a wrong turn somewhere in there between the Harp Cave and the jerk. But yeah, Repel was very friendly this race. You really didn't have to deal with anything with Repel on. Nothing you couldn't run away from.
And a good diet of the red slimes too doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I was kind of worried. I don't know when everyone else discovered that red slime, but I was wandering about in that little desert north of Sherlock to start, Tangedale to start, trying to get something, and then I saw that red slime and how easy it was. So I was a little worried I was behind from the beginning with how nice a grind that was.
I think that's one of the really interesting things about Chaos and Randomizer, but Will Wagner actually had the experience lead pretty much the entire game, but is just behind on a little bit of homework, didn't quite stumble into things in the right order, and so has now got the Rainbow Drop and heading into Sherlock, but was hunting about for items for the majority of the game.
Yeah, it was a big map. Definitely a big map. Nothing on that little island out of Swamp Cave. Really just one big continent to walk around.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how runners choose to explore and how they handle their exploration process. So it sounds like you were doing some mapping, is what you mentioned.
Yeah, I have, as Cardinality's made famous, the map on the fly strategy. I like it a lot, except occasionally I draw it wrong and leave myself astray, but this time I chose counterclockwise to kind of follow the border, and it worked out pretty well because it led me to Cole and Jerk fairly early, which they were really far from home.
Yep, they were, and it seems like aside from a couple things that were either bunched together, everything was well spread out. So, congrats on that. Congrats on the 5 points that you picked up, which is big. That brings you up to 7. Are you ready for Cursed Princess next week?
No, I've been playing Chaos all week. I actually really enjoy Chaos. I think we should, hopefully in the casual races, we can play Chaos more, but it's kind of fun how crazy it is sometimes with what you encounter. But yeah, now I'll try some Cursed Princess, keep those cursed belts unlike every other game, so it'll be fun.
And Will Wagner music is heading into the Dragon Lord fight here. I do have one more question for you after this Dragon Lord fight, though. Oh, Dragon Lord has the low Dragon Lord breath. Will Wagner is opting to try to stop spell, sees a stop spell, decides against it, and looks like Will Wagner is not going to have any problems swinging that flame sword. I thought I saw Will Wagner in Cole, so may also have.
He did pick it up. He did pick up Erdrick's sword, and he put on the death necklace. Gutsy.
Well, he's going to be happy with that choice. It'll speed things up.
That should put him to about 165 attack power, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he'll be swinging for a high of 30 something. Just hope to see the stats be. Yeah, he just swung for 27. So he's swinging for a high of 35.
And Cyberdark is getting the good news in Cole and probably snagging the sword, and I think got the homework done and will be in Charlock here shortly.
Yep, that will be the case. He did already have Verdrick Sword. However, he has not found Hawk's Nest.
Could be looking for armor in Charlock here shortly then.
And he already did it. Get your GGs out, ladies and gentlemen. Will Wagner just blew right through that Dragon Lord. Did he get an excellent hit? Wow.
Yeah, Cyberdark hit for 126 with the attack power of 161.
So how about an SRL time of 50 minutes and 50-something seconds? I think that works.
50:36 is what I'm seeing, and with Chaos and or just casual randomizer, you definitely take sub-hour. And we do see Cyberdark here looking for the Erdrick's armor, but is going to be disappointed by the 6 chests here in Charlock. So we're going to see gold and a few other things, but it's mostly going to be gold and maybe that 3rd cursed belt.
Yep, Centroid is looking for coal. That's the only thing he has left to do.
And speak the name of Cole and it appears, I guess. Usually we think it's imaginary, but today it definitely exists and will help out also getting the silver shield on Centroid's screen. So Cyberdark and Centroid both buying that silver shield and getting that 10 extra defense power.
Exactly, and speaking of silver shields, our silver medalist, Will Wagner Music has just joined us in the chat room, in the booth. Congratulations, good sir.
Thank you. It was a really well played game by Brian. I guess I probably over-leveled a lot too much.
I
GG
wouldn't
Will.
say that.
It was a tight game. The thing that really just kind of got you is that you didn't quite stumble into things in quite the right order. So I had to do a little bit of extra exploring here and there. And Brian Williams found things in the right order and kind of just got experience as he was going.
Yeah, I found that spot right outside of Cantland, and I'm like, oh, Magidraki and Red Slime. And then when I found that there was a spot underneath the castle, I'm like, if I didn't find this grind spot first, I'm done.
And it looks like Cyberdark's going for it without the armor. He feels that he is behind, and he is. But it doesn't matter because Drakey breathed fire and Chaos lol. He's back to start.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Probably should have been able to get away from that Draki, but got a little bit unlucky, and well, we'll get to walk right back to the Big C. Meanwhile, Centroid is entering the Big C and should be looking to start a Dragon Lord fight himself.
That is true. And it's going to be smooth sailing for Centroid. He does have the armor, which is something that Cyberdark missed. He missed Hawk's Nest. So, by my calculations, it looks like Centroid will get 3rd place.
We never call it until it's over, but it looks like that's the probable outcome. Cyberdark, however, running right back into Charlock and is just going to give this another go. So we could see simultaneous Dragonlord fights, and Cyberdark is sitting at...
Oh, excellent Doge on Centroid.
Yeah, and Cyberdark is sitting at level 19, so that extra attack power, not a ton more, but just a little bit, shouldn't make a huge difference, but could.
Yeah, but one problem is we've seen the Dragon Lord breathe a lot of fire, so that's going to be tough. I think it is a 75% fire breather.
But
So it wasn't just me getting a lot of fire. Will got a lot of fire too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty default in the Dragon Lord's attack pattern. The one question I did want to pose to Brian and Will was, how do you feel about Chaos, especially with the recent changes to the randomizer with your attacking torches and fairy water? Do you think that has made Chaos a little bit easier, a little bit more palatable?
I think Chaos is always an interesting check, but with the ability to take out those wet noodles in one shot, it makes it way more doable, and it makes it a lot quicker, a lot less frustrating, and I think it's a good addition overall.
Yeah, I mean that torch and the fairy water I got at the beginning was very valuable. I was resetting every time I died. I even reset after I got that slime because it was only like 10 experience or something, because that was so valuable to just have torches and fairy water. In this case hurt, but that's not even as reliable. So yeah, it really makes it a lot more survivable early and not like a reroll feeling.
Yep, that is the case, and Centroid, I think he's one hit away from defeating the Dragon Lord, but will take a save to heal more. And will not do it yet. One more hit, nope, gotta take a save to heal more.
Gotta hit just a little bit harder.
One thing I think
How about
that we
that?
in this version of Chaos as opposed to the standard version of Chaos, I think because we don't have keys, we're able to grind the treasury for 4 extra items. If we didn't have those items available, having a torch or a fairy water in the first 3 items that you can use to get that first level is absolutely necessary in Chaos. So while we didn't experience it here, in other versions of Chaos where we don't have keys, it would be tremendous.
Absolutely. And while we're doing that, Centroid finishes up. He will take 3rd place at an SRL time of... What's the SRL time, Bob's?
57:18 for Centroid, so still getting in under the hour, and Cyberdark has defeated Dragonlord 1 and finding his way right onto Dragonlord 2.
Now we get to see the Dragon Lord 2 stats, if we can pull that up.
I think one thing to look at versus the previous season with Chaos mode, we had 3 people finish in under an hour in Chaos mode, and I think that there were 2 seeds I did in the first Chaos tournament where no one finished in under 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm a big fan of finishing in a third of the time.
And that coin flip on whether or
161,
not
so it is
Dragonlord
normal.
2... The coin flip of whether the Dragon Lord decides to breathe fire on you or not is not going to help out Cyberdark here. Not having Erdrick's armor takes a lot of damage off of the Dragon Lord 2 breath.
Right, and he already had like 75, more than 75 ready to go, so he could have swung, but I guess didn't want to take the shot.
What's unfortunate is that his defense is high enough where he wouldn't feel the sting of the attacks as bad as that DL2 breath, just making a heal more almost useless.
Yeah, just absorbing that heal more with the damage right after.
Those are pretty
Cyberdark,
vanilla. Those are pretty vanilla Dragon Lord 2 stats. Not Chaos at all.
Yes, a very non-chaotic Dragon Lord today. Survives with 1 hit point. So
I
we got
really want to see this work. I really
two
want to see
heal
this.
mores left, and Cyberdark is going to come down to the wire. Hits for 30, so we should be just above 120, if I'm not mistaken.
And then the Dragon Lord hit for 30 and then 22, helping him out.
And
did
Cyberdark
it!
gets it done.
Well-earned victory, even without Erdrick's armor. So, heads up play, and we'll take 4th place. Chaos, lol. Oh, Chaos, yay! I guess. And we'll take 4th place points. And earning it the actual way to earn it.
It is a tough seed when you finish in just barely over an hour and coming 4th on Chaos. That's crazy, crazy tight.
Absolutely is. And we got Cyberdark and Centroid coming in hopefully soon, so we can get their thoughts before we wrap things up. And here they are now. Congratulations, you two, Centroid, Cyberdark. Hard fought race, but you pulled it out in the end, and I'm very impressed that Cyberdark being able to pull it off without Erdrick's armor.
Where was Hawksness?
It was out there. It was like far to the north or something.
I'm assuming that's where the armor was.
That's exactly where it was.
Once I got close enough, I said, screw it, I'll do it without it.
Yeah, I was very impressed that that was your call, and that even after the first death, dying to that Drakey who wouldn't let you run away, that you said, nope, I'm committed, let's go. And not knowing whether Dragon Lord 2 could put you to sleep, you just went for it.
I'm assuming he didn't have any spells, and he didn't cast any while I was fighting him anyway.
No, he was vanilla. Even the hit points that DL2 had was vanilla-ish at 161. Something you would have fought in week 1.
Okay. But yeah, GG guys, that was really well done. 44 minutes, wow.
Yeah, GG. Congrats on that fight, Cyberdark. That was good. That was brave, and you did it perfectly.
Except for that random heal cast.
I'll be honest, I thought you were just baiting out the Dragon Lord breath on the next one because you would just be overhealing so much.
No, it was a stupid call on my part, because when I cast it and then the fire breath came in, I was like, oh, right, I should have just fully healed. Oh well.
I mean, it was totally not a miss menu. What are you talking about, Bobski?
Yeah, Miss Menu, what? Huh?
Miss Menu? What's that? I just slayed a Dragon Lord.
How about you, Centroid? Any thoughts on the seed? How'd it go for you?
I don't think it went too bad. I'm not very experienced with chaos, but this one was pretty straightforward. But honestly, the story of the seed was kind of the map. Honestly, it was just like windy and a lot of big areas with multiple options to go. So, I mean, once you got your bearings, like it wasn't too terrible.
Yeah, the map was definitely the real gatekeeper on this this fight or this seed. The big windy areas and not being able to walk directly pretty much anywhere. Had to take at least a couple bridges on your way out and around. So definitely kudos to everyone who found their way around the map. To be honest, Cyberdark, I couldn't tell you where Hawksness was either, which is why I didn't answer that question. And I got to watch everyone go around the map.
Just want to let everybody... Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, Hawksness, I found accidentally was way closer than I expected, and then when I went to go back and look for coal, I almost found it again.
And that's what happens. It was in a big swamp. That's what I remember. It was in a pretty good-sized swamp is where access was.
Just
want to let everybody.
It was just north of Rimmildar, I think.
Ah,
That's where it was. Just want to let everybody know that we have more Dragon Warrior races happening. We have one at 8 o'clock and one at 9:30. I think the 8 o'clock one will be here at Randomania 1. And I think the 9:30 one, depending on how late the 8 o'clock race goes, will be in Randomania 2. So you have a full night of chaos to enjoy. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching. We are going... any final words? Racers? Brian Williams, Centroid, Cyberdark, and Will Wagner. Any final words on this seed? And how is everybody getting ready for Cursed Princess next week?
no, just it was a fun seed, and thanks to the crew.
Yeah, it was
That
fun.
is-
GG's to everyone. Thanks.
That seed was so straightforward as a chaos one. I'm almost inclined to think we're going to be told we have to race again because it doesn't qualify as chaos.
Well, that's why it
Let's do
was light chaos, which was the theme for the week.
Send it
Yeah.
back to the chef and ask for more chaos next time.
Yeah, I guess preparing for next week, maybe I'll wear my belt one notch tighter, and that'll remind me, keep the belts.
Leave the
You are
belts,
the
take the
champ.
cannoli.
Thank you, everyone.
And I think that'll do it for us here on Randomania. That concludes today's early race. As mentioned, there is a race at 8 p.m. between Angel FM, Fryteeth, and Ferran Burgundy, and another one at 9:30, which will wrap up our week 2 races with High Spirits, the Seawolf one, and Smashies. So 2 races you're definitely not going to want to miss. I bet at least one of them will be much more chaotic. So 2 more chaos races to go, and then we're on to the Cursed Princess week. So that's all for us here. I'm Bobski, and this has been a presentation put on by CD, our restreamer, Camion Renokai, our tracker, Ali Gerbrap, our other tracker, and Sigma Fan. So Sigma Fan, you want to take us out to our restream target? Or our raid target?
Yes, we are going to raid the RPG Valkyries. They have raided everything in the past. Now it's time for us to return the favor. They're playing Shining Force CD for the RPGs We Love Marathon. They do great stuff. Some of our runners from the Summer League and Winter League are participating in that as well. So we'd like to thank everybody for watching. We'd like to thank our runners, Brian Williams, 42, Centroid 41, Cyberdark 86, Will Wagner Music, Alliger Brat, Becoming on Renakai, who were our restreamers, CD Improv, our trackers, CD Improv, our wonderful restreamer, Bobski. Thank you very much. This is Sigma Fan saying, join us back here at Randomania at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for some more great Randomania, Rando, Dragon Warrior Randomizer, Chaos Light. Good night.
Rando.